Hello everyone, welcome to Apna Guruji, and in this video we are going to study about heat and its effects. Let's start the video. Heat is a measurable form of energy. Heat is form of energy and thus it can be converted into other forms of energy like mechanical energy, electrical energy. So various platform we are using the heat energy to convert in other forms of energy. Here is a task for you guys. On the returning from school, Ravi touched the iron glass leading his house. He found it extremely hot. Later, he turned something made of iron present inside his house found that they were not hot. He touched the other substances not made of iron present in the house determined whether they are hot or cold. His listed observation in the table given below. So he touched various things like tea, it is hot, coffee hot, ice cold, ice cream cold, cooked rice hot, frozen meat cold. Try to make table listing these orders. But how do you decide whether the substance is hot or cold? Can you always tell whether a substance is hot or cold simply by touching it? No. We have another example also. Here, hot water, here hot water plus cold water, and other is cold water. What can you say about the water present in the three containers? Note your observation. Okay. And what is your observation of container B? If the water is container B, no hot or cold. So if there is a comparison, so how do you measure that heat? So is heat measurable? So yes, it is measurable. The measure is to determine the degree of hotness or coldness of the substances is called the temperature. The standard of measurement of heat we can say that is temperature, or in the other language we can say that the measure that is used to detecting the degree of hotness or coldness in a substance, that is a degree of hotness or coldness of substance is called by temperature. The device that used to measure the temperature is called thermometer. So generally when you feel fever, so in that time you use a thermometer to measure your temperature of the body, means how much hot is your body. Clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometers, there are basically two types of thermometers. One is your clinical thermometer, another is your laboratory thermometer. So there is difference between clinical thermometers and laboratory thermometers. The measuring scale is less in case of clinical thermometer, and in case of laboratory thermometer the measuring scale is much bigger. How is temperature as a measure of heat? In the SI system, the unit of temperature is Kelvin, where the unit of heat is joules. Still, temperature measures can tell us about the heat energy contained in a body. So, heat energy equals to mc into T. Effects of heat. Man is dependent various sources of heat. The sun is major source of heat on the earth, and the heat received on the sun is the reason why life flourishes on the earth. There are many changes take place around us because of the heat effects of heat. Let us study effects of heat in detail. So rise in temperature. The temperature of a body increases on heating. However, the temperature falls on removing heat from a body by cooling it. When we heat water oil in separate vessels, take it more time to change in the temperature of the water by 1 degree Celsius. Then the time to make rise the temperature of the oil by 1 degree Celsius. Do you know the reason behind this? The amount of heat required to rise the temperature of substance is dependent upon the nature of the substance. Oil absorbs heat faster than water, and this is the reason that takes more time to increase the temperature of water by 1 degree Celsius. So these are the reasons to change the heat of the any object. Change in state also. In case of changing states, we are using heat to change the state. If heat is absorbed, means the substance is converted into. If we take an example of ice, so when we give to heat to it, it converts into liquid. But we remove heat from it, then it converts into a iron solid. So the addition of sufficient amount of heat to substance or removal of sufficient amount of heat, it changes the state of substance. Whether a solid is heated of particular temperature, it starts melting. After some time, changes into a liquid. In some way, when liquid is heated to a certain temperature, it starts to be boiled and converts into gas. On cooling, the gas is converted into liquid state, and further cooling it converted into solid state. This is how the heat changes the states. So you can see the example here. Here is a gas, solid and liquid. So we give solid heat, it becomes to liquid, that is process of melting, and then liquid to gas, that is known as vaporization, and gas to direct solid, that is known as deposition. If the solid direct converted into gas, that is sublimation. If the liquid converts into solid, that is known as freezing, and the gas converted into liquid, that is known as condensation. Change in physical properties. So the physical properties of substance are altered on heating. For example, iron, which is hard metal on room temperature because of soft and strong heating, and can be modulated into desired shape. The electric resistance of a conductor decreases at a high temperature. High temperature of a conductor is achieved by heating. Heating is a magnet. Heating a magnet loses its magnetism also. These are the change in physical properties due to the heat. Chemical changes. The application of it can cause the chemical changes to substances breakdown. For example, curriculum carbonate decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide on heating. The speed of chemical reaction may increase or decrease with heat. For example, food decays faster summer than in winter. Reaction in which heat is released slow down in heat is added. For example, the rate of neutralization reaction decreases on adding heat. Expansion also. So when we give heat to any substance, the molecules are separated by each other and generate a space between it, so it will expand. Change of state and overview. So whatever we have discussed in the picture, so the change of solid into liquid, that is melting, change of liquid into solid, that is freezing. So these things you have already studied in the first chapter in the matter. Sublimation, deposition, temperature affecting. If you don't watch the video, then you can visit my channel. I have already made the video of this chapter matter. These are the process by which we can convert into liquid to gas, gas to solids. Then comes to your kinetic energy of particles. So kinetic energy of particles in case of gas is higher than liquid than solid. Particle force of attraction in case of solid, that is high, liquid is low, and gas is very low. We have already discussed these things in chapter of matter. Freezing point, boiling point also, and latent heat also. So we discuss about the latent heat. So the heat energy is absorbed by ice without showing its rise in temperature. This is called latent heat. So without change or rise in temperature, the amount of heat absorbed by substance is known as latent heat. Latent heat is a figure. Latent heat of vaporization. This is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of liquid into vapor. That is known as latent heat of vaporization. So this is the heating curve, and there is example. If the melting point of solid is high, then dash between the particles stronger. Melting point of solid is high, then the force between the particle is higher, force of attraction. Next question is that which has more energy, solid works at 40 degrees Celsius or liquid works at 42 degrees Celsius? Which have more energy? So liquid works at 40 degrees Celsius more energy than solid works at the same temperature. Hard. So choose the process in which absorb heat or from the surroundings. Conversion of ice into water, conversion of water vapor into snow, and precipitation of water vapor as rain. So the correct answer is A, that is conversion of ice into water. These are another questions you can solve by yourself. Celsius to Kelvin. So 1 degree Celsius equals to 273 Kelvin. If 30 degrees Celsius can be expressed in Kelvin, so that is 30 plus 273, that is 303 Kelvin. These are some facts that the temperature 0 Kelvin is known as absolute zero. Nothing can be colder than 0 Kelvin. Okay. Which kids? Results and activities. Pressure affecting the change in state. We have already discussed that pressure also can change the state, like gas. If we give the pressure, then the molecules come nearer, and if we another pressure, then the molecules come nearer or very much, then it convert into liquid. So gas can be converted into liquid by giving the pressure. It is a perfect example that we use the LPG gas in our home. Then why do you need to liquefy the gases? To store the gases, we required to liquefy gases. That is uses of the liquefaction of gases. Liquefaction of gases is helpful for their easy storage and transportation. Liquid nitrogen is used to surgery. Liquid chlorine is applied to water treatment plants for purification of water. These are the uses of liquefaction of gases. Interconversion among solid, liquid and gases. We have already discussed about this. This is the process in which liquids convert into interconversion of among solid, liquid and gases. You can see this picture: solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to again solid. This is the process where heat is absorbed and heat is released, and the process is called evaporation, condensation, sublimation, deposition, freezing and melting. You can see this. You can take a pause and take a screenshot also for your further use. This is the process of nature. The water cycle, you know very well about the water cycle. Then comes to humidity. When the humidity is high during summer days, we feel more hot and sweaty than usual. Why this is so? Because nowadays you can feel there is very much heat and humidity also. If only heat is there, no problem is there, but if heat plus humidity, it will feel very sweaty. And this is due to high humidity means that air surrounding us rich in water vapors and hence has lesser tendency to take up more water vapors. In consequence, we sweat. That sweat takes longer to vaporize. This is the reason why we feel particularly hot and sweaty in times to high humidity. So this is the reason in these days we are feeling these heat waves. Temperature, wind speed and surface area. There are two conditions in which earlier activity is carried out. The hot and windy condition under the running fan. The cold and non-windy condition inside the coolest. Moving air, running fan, high temperature. The second China disk is placed on the cold and non-windy condition. In the case, the rate of evaporation of water is low because of the following factors. No moving air, low temperature. So these are the cases where you can observe wind speed and surface area for the vaporization cases. This is the example of clouds in bottle, humidity, rate of vaporization, surface area, temperature and wind speed. Here are some solved examples. You can see the question and the answer also. I think the questions are matched with your book solution also. So look at carefully. If any doubt in the questions, you can ask in the comment section. Then factor affecting the evaporation. So evaporation is particularly the conversion of liquid into gaseous form at any temperature. So the factors are water present in an earthen pot remains cool. The skin becomes cool when deodorant or perfume is sprayed. We perception more during summers. People sprinkling water on the roof during a hot sunny day. These are the examples of evaporation or evaporations. And a desert cooler gives cool air. Then comes to boiling. Demonstration of boiling of liquid. So in case of boiling liquid, the heat is given to bottom of the liquid, so the water is rotating inside it. The molecules at the bottom area get heated, then it becomes lighter, then it goes to upper side and the cooler molecules come to this side and this begins to heat. So in this cycle the water will boil. This is the explanation of boiling by molecular motion. On heating a liquid, our kinetic energy of these molecules increases. Thus, the molecules gain sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the force of attraction on the molecules. They now begin to leave the liquid, not only the surface, but also near the walls of the beaker containing the liquid. Effects of pressure and boiling point. The boiling point of a liquid is directly related to pressure, that is increases with the increases in pressure and decreases with the decrease in pressure. So boiling also affected by pressures. And there is a difference between evaporation and boiling. Evaporation takes place all temperature. Boiling requires a fixed temperature. It is a surface phenomenon. It is a bulk phenomenon. It is a slow process. It is a rapid process. The surface molecules absorb heat from their surroundings. The heat is absorbed by molecules supplied from the externally. Then thermal expansion. Thermal expansion is that molecules are separated by the heat. So you can observe these electric wires. In case of summer, they will lie down or they slightly bend because of thermal expansion, and in case of winter they are tightly attached due to the thermal condensation. You can see the air balloons we generate, we give to heat to it and 100 degrees Celsius, and then air is contained in it and it is become lighter and it will fly in the sky. But all gases expand on heating, not only air. We know that hot air expands. How does the air makes balloon move up? Let's perform activity to understand this phenomenon. So there is activity. You can see this expansion of solid also. Let the length be L and we give the heat to it. So the linear expansion will be del L. So linear expansion is direct proportional to original length into temperature of change. The amount of temperature change, the expansion will take place. This is the formula of expansion. Volume expansion of solid. This is the linear expansion and this is the volume expansion. As same as that. Then your density expansion also. Relationship between alpha A and alpha B. That is the relation. You can see this. Expansion of liquid and gases. So every liquids are expand due to heat. So I hope guys you will understand all these things. If you feel any doubts, please ask in the comment section, particularly which topic you are feeling doubt, then I will make videos on the topic. So this is a brief discussion about the chapter, that is heat. So if you read carefully the heat chapter, then you will understand why heat waves are occurring everywhere nowadays. Thank you guys for watching. Keep watching Apna Guruji and keep subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.